Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and moviegoers. Welcome back to the Pick and Mix podcast. Welcome back to it's the first episode. Doesn't matter. Today, I'm your host Julius, and I'm along with my co-host Jake.
Hiya. Morning.
And today we're going to talk about some great films. I'm talking about Rocky from 1976.
And I'm talking about Nausicaä, The Valley of the Wind from 1984.
Along with some great segments, so stay tuned. So Jake, would you rather have the powers of Shazam or have the wealth and be, in general, just Batman?
So Shazam is magic in it, basically.
Yeah.
What else? He can
Shazam,
fly, he can... What else does he do? Blow people
he
up.
Shoot lightning out his fingers.
So he's a Sith, a flying Sith.
Yeah. Would you rather be a flying Sith or be rich? Do you prefer the money? Or do you want to be the flying Jedi killer?
Out of pure greed, I'd be Batman and just not do the crime fighting. Just keep the money.
Just pay someone else to do it.
Yeah, keep Wayne Enterprises.
To be fair, why don't you just move out of Gotham? Just go anywhere else. Go to Metropolis. You've got Superman looking after you.
Or just like move to Atlantis or something.
Atlantis, underwater.
Yeah, just...
A very wet man.
Build a bat submarine. I'm sure there's one of them knocking about somewhere.
He's probably already made one.
Probably, yeah. But no,
so,
what...
This, are you like teleporting to become... Like, imagine they're both there, and you just
we just replace...
and you're suddenly them.
We're just automatically them.
Yeah.
What else does Shazam do?
Right, he flies. If he says Shazam,
he's like
he can
Superman.
switch from between being Shazam and being a normal person. So you can get like an actual secret identity.
Can be sneaky around, but you can do that with Batman and all.
Yeah, but you can just take the mask off then. Someone just goes, "You're Jake. You're not."
That's not a good superhero name, is it?
No.
The Fantastic
I'm
Jake.
I'm Jake Man.
Yeah, I'll rebrand Batman to be Jake. What would you do then? What would you?
Right, I think I'd probably. Because there's things where Batman's like found powers, hasn't he? And he's had powers before.
Has he?
Yeah.
I thought his whole deal was
in the past. He's had
fight with the power of
he had
obscene wealth.
Obviously, because he's like he builds fear. That's how he like runs Gotham. He had the Yellow Lantern ring at some point.
Oh God, I don't. Is that some comic book deep dive comic book
I
stuff?
think so. Yeah, I just remember he did have it. I'm not a nerd. Cool. I'm a cool kid.
He did have the Yellow Lantern ring at one point.
Oh, did
exactly.
Yeah. What does the
And
Yellow Lantern do? I know Green Lantern you can just make, can't
It's
you?
the opposite of the Green Lantern, so it's the same thing, but yellow.
Yellow.
Oh.
But
So you can just make
is
whatever.
Green cooler? Is green a cooler colour than the Yellow Lantern?
I think for this we have to stick with baseline Batman, baseline Shazammer.
Right,
No
I'd be
extra.
Shazam, I'd be Shazam rob bank. I'd have to be a hero.
I'd be Shazam, kick out of Batman with my magic because.
Well, Batman has 15 counters to that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he knows all the weaknesses.
All the countermeasures.
Big brain Batman. No,
Yeah,
I'd go Batman just for the obscene wealth.
Yeah.
And then I'd actually try to fix stuff rather than just running around
Right,
in tights,
you
kicking
be
the
Batman, I'll be Shazam. We'll
rather than
fight,
just
we'll
running
see who
around
wins.
beating up like low-level thugs. I'd actually like invest in the infrastructure of Gotham City and maybe actually fix something.
Nerd. The infrastructure of Gotham.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
vote for Mayor.
actually fix problems, not just beat up poor people.
Beat up the angry poor people.
Yeah.
You know what? If we're allowed to beat up angry poor people, I will become Batman.
That's the trade-off. That's what you get from it.
I receive Batman abilities, you receive a beating.
But you could instead beat up poor, angry people with superpowers.
Oh, you know, that would just murder them though. Batman gets away with it because I don't think he didn't kill him, so that's why he gets away with
Is
it.
Shazam the same? Is he one of them? I'm not going to kill anyone.
No, I don't
superheroes?
think so.
Or does he just like
people.
murder people?
He
left,
did in the
right?
film, right? He killed the villain.
But isn't he a kid as well?
Yeah, mean kid.
Would I have to become like a 12-year-old if I chose Shazam?
Would you not want to
Because
be?
I hated me as a 12-year-old. If I met
I
12-year-old
hate you
me
as a
now, I
12-year-old.
would not be a fan.
You beat him up, man.
I'd kick the shit out. I'd get my batarangs and kick the shit out of 12-year-old me.
Yeah, to be fair, I think 12-year-old me needed more bullying. I had like a bowl haircut. Me.
Yeah, but you were happy with your little Minecraft.
That
Celebrity
was younger than 12.
conventions.
That was way younger than 12.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. I just
We've gone off.
didn't look it.
Should we go back onto topic?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Right, yeah. Definitely. I go Shazam.
Yeah, I go Batman.
All right, great. Let's go straight into Blockbuster Breakdown. Right, it's time to get into the Blockbuster Breakdown, the main meat of this podcast. So, first, do you want to take it away with the...
Yeah, so you're
with your
doing
film?
Rocky, I'm doing Nausicaä.
Yeah, I'm doing Rocky, the first one, 1976, and you've got...
Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind, 1984.
Very niche film.
Absolutely. So first we'll do cinematography stuff. So...
Do you want to take it away?
Yeah, so it's a bit different with mine because it's animated, so that I can't talk a lot about the cinematography.
So you have to talk more about the the angles
Yeah.
you use and...
So it's like it's the Studio Ghibli style. Studio Ghibli's the publishing one. It was founded after this film was made, like on the back of this film, and it's like the iconic Ghibli style. So it's everything is super vibrant colours. Loads of like green and blue. Like I think I saw it described as like hyper realistic, maybe, just like real, but everything pops a bit more, and it's a bit more whimsical. Because apparently a lot of the anime that was coming out at the time was just like bleak, miserable. Cyborgs are killing all of us.
Yeah, what came around that time as well? What other kind of animes were there?
I've not looked into it too much. But there's
I do agree there's
a lot of action films,
Yeah,
lots of like, yeah. Whereas Ghibli stuff is a bit more light-hearted. I mean, saying that, the story is about like nuclear. It's after the end of the world.
Yeah.
There's these nuclear weapon allegories.
Is it like Adventure Time? With,
No, not quite. It's
after the Great War.
it's
Everyone's...
yeah, it's 1,000 years after the end of the world. After
It's literally Adventure Time.
yeah. I think maybe this one came from. Maybe that's what Adventure Time's based on. But it's they're called the Giant Warriors or something like that, which is basically nukes, but instead of nukes, it's huge dudes who look like they're made of lava that shoot nuclear eye beams. That's how the world ended in the 7 Days of Fire.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's very anime. There is a bit of cliche-age, but cinematography. There's not a lot I can say about it. Just one of the big points was they did a lot of wide shots. So loads of like glider. She has this glider thing she flies around on, and loads of shots of like the huge landscapes and stuff. And I feel like it was just to show off how good they were at drawing.
Yeah. It's like showing off the scenery of the actual, building the world into it.
So there's like
the character.
Yeah, there's where it's set, the Valley of the Wind, and then they go off flying, and there's like this huge sea of decay, which is nature taking back the world kind of thing. So a lot of shots of them flying around and showing all that stuff off.
Right, do you want to go on my one?
Yeah.
Go on. Rocky, right? Great film. The cinematography was one of the better parts. I'd say the better parts were the cinematography and the score, but we'll focus on the cinematography now.
Yeah.
The angles where they used were really good. Even at parts of the film where I didn't personally enjoy it as much, I thought the actual camera work was still really good. They used a lot of editing that was very smooth. It was all very nice.
There's like a lot of action scenes, or
no, not at all. You'll be surprised. Rocky's more about it's more about mentality than anything. I think it's about obviously it's an underdog story, so he's not really anything. He fights for a hobby and then he becomes, he doesn't become the champion, but
he's the boy.
He tries to get to and he fights the biggest fighter in the world at the point. And it's more of a grand scale of building up to the fight. So the whole film it starts, he gets accepted to fight, he's terrible, he can't fight as good as he needs to. He trains harder and harder.
Is it a lot of training montages?
There's 3, I think, but they're not long.
Just the right amount. That's the
no, but they're great. They're probably the best parts of the film.
And how much actual boxing, like in the ring boxing match, is there, or is it just the one at the end?
There's one at the end.
There's
There's a smaller one at the start, but it's not. It's not really a big fight. It's like a minute.
Okay.
The one at the end is actually one thing I didn't enjoy about the film. Surprisingly.
Oh, the big fight was the.
I've said this. The big fight was very anticlimactic, and I didn't think the acting it was great at the fight either.
Was it anticlimactic on purpose, or was it just a bit?
No, I think it was meant to be a big grand thing, but it just didn't. And it
just a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
during the actual fights, like what they do now is you see it a lot, and it's awful. It's like the shaky cam to cover up how bad the choreography is.
So it's like,
is it like that, or do they
don't
actually
do
look
shaky
like
cam.
they're
That's the
boxing?
problem.
Oh.
The choreography is terrible. That's the worst part of.
So they've not covered up the fact that it just doesn't look like they're hitting each
so
other.
what I thought was, you couldn't tell when someone was. Obviously, in boxing, when you do that, you punch.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't just say that because it's an audio podcast. So when someone punches and then they dodge, it's obviously, it's the same motion as getting hit.
Or they'll do like
So you can't
a quick cut as the punch is meant to connect, and then it comes from the side.
You can't tell when someone's getting hit or someone's dodging. So it makes it really hard to, attach it to the character.
Is it one camera as if you're watching a boxing fight?
No,
from that, or is it like cuts around
the
place?
actual fight the camera works good. It's just the choreography that really lets it down.
It just doesn't look like they're
Because it even has like a bird's eye view. Cinematography was great. That's probably one of the stronger parts with the film.
Okay.
Especially with like the montages. I know we're joking about it, but it really the actual cinematography for the montages really helps build the scale of not only Rocky but the city of New York as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of open shots which show famous landmarks in New York.
Yeah, was that like during the... Because all I've got in my mind from Rocky is like him... There's that place in New York where it's like opposite the river, and it's used in loads of films where you can see the skyline and they're like on this industrial edge bit, and it's him like jogging on the spot or something. I'm assuming that's part of the montage.
What, when he's like running around in America?
Yeah, maybe.
He goes up the stairs.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. He runs up the stairs like, yeah.
Rocky.
Rocky.
Boxing.
Yeah, fighter. Yeah, and especially at that point we're saying when he goes up and jumps up, it pans out to show New York, to show
like quite a grand overview,
a grand scale of like how much he's done. I think it also makes it seem like since he's on top of the stairs, it's like metaphorical.
That's a demon name. Metaphorical
for how high he's come. So like he's climbed the stairs with ease. Before earlier, there's another montage where he's out of breath and he's like
he's crawling up him.
Yeah, and so when he did it, he still had energy to jump around and dance. So it just shows that like
showing the progress.
Yeah, showing the progress and like show he's higher than he was before.
Yeah, like
a metaphorical way. I can't say it.
Metaphorical.
Sorry,
Mephistopheles.
Sounds like a philosopher.
I've got another. There was another bit about
the next part. Have you done cinematography?
Yeah. What was your favourite shot or your favourite scene?
My favourite shot that sticks out is either the part I said where he's on the stairs and he's like doing the jump in, or it's during the fight. They do like a bird's eye view, which I think I always think bird's eye views are quite effective, especially in this bit.
Yeah,
because it turns a bit as well, so it's like the rings turning, and I think that's really
just a cool shot.
Yeah, just
slightly different.
It just makes it seem a bit more like impactful.
Yeah, a bit more epic.
Yeah, especially because you can't see the missing punches every second. So.
Yeah. My favourite shot's the in Nausicaä's a scene where she's on the glider and she's just following. I'm going to say, and every time I say something, it's going to sound like it needs a lot of explaining, but I'm just not going to explain anything. There's a guy on who rides like a huge bird thing, and he's running through a desert, and she catches up with him and is like, "Yo, what's up?" And then one of these ohms, which are these big, or omu, one of these big like insect monster things, who are like the bad guys, but also represent nature, just comes flying out of the Sea of Decay. I can see how confused it is. Yeah. There's just this cool scene where it comes flying out and chases them across the desert.
Need to be confused.
Yeah. I'll say all these words and you're not allowed to know what they mean. The ohms. They're just like huge, like
they're the bugs.
They're like woodlouse mixed with lava.
I think you've shown me that. They look grim.
With loads of eyes on them.
Yeah, they're gross.
They're very cool dudes.
Very cool or very slimy?
I wouldn't say they're slimy. That's not nice. Come on.
Right, what's the next thing that's on the checklist?
The next section.
The next big chunk is
the characters and the writing, like the themes and stuff.
Okay.
So, character-wise, there's the main gal, Nausicaä, who I thought was quite a good, like, well-written character. But it's like there's this cliche of like the main. I need to stop saying like the cliche of the main character being sick at everything. Everyone loves them. there's no way like they're super good at fighting. She's super good at, like, everyone loves talking to her and it's, oh hey Nausicaä, how's it going? And is also super smart, super intelligent, no flaws. And she is a little bit like that, but I think she's like more of a stand-in to push the story rather than.
The main focus isn't on her; it's on about the world.
No, well, it is as well because she's like the chosen one as well, which is, I hate that. But I don't know if it's just like a cliche thing that's just normal, because she's still quite a good character, and it's but it's just a little bit too, like, she's too good.
Yeah, without watching your film, half the things you say are like, what?
Yeah,
she's the chosen one.
Yeah, so there's a prophecy, like, it's hardly mentioned as well. It's like the old woman, you know, the wise old woman mentions this prophecy at the start about a prince in a blue coat who's going to save everyone.
Jesus Christ, this is cliche.
And then at the end, she's saving this ohm larva that's being used as bait to pull all the ohm towards another country. And she saves it and gets covered in its blood, and her dress turns blue. And it's like, oh, prophecy. But I don't like prophecy. I don't like prophecy stuff and chosen one stuff.
No,
I feel like
it makes the whole story like.
And then they try to subvert it, but like, oh no, she's not the chosen one. And then, yeah, she is actually. Never mind. And then all the side characters were a bit like not very fleshed out. They seem to be like there just to push her along.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of like side characters and like a lot of media. They don't put enough emphasis on the other people.
They don't spend enough time like developing them as individuals. But there's not enough time because it's only like a 2-hour film. So if we were following every character for half an hour to make us like them, it might be a bit too much.
Yeah, a bit too much emphasis on everything else.
With the characters, there is a good thing, and it's something that Miyazaki's done in all of the Ghibli films, or a lot of them anyway, is that
Ghibli films.
Yeah, it's called Studio Ghibli. Yeah, the Gibsters.
Big up Ghibli.
Is that some of his films, most of his films, just have female characters, and they're like strong characters, but he doesn't point it out.
Yeah,
they just are. That's just how the world is in his movies. Yeah, is that women are just as competent and probably more competent in a lot of things as men. But it's not like he doesn't make a big point out of it. It's just, I think it's just how he sees the world maybe. But I think that's quite a good theme he's got going.
Yeah.
There is one character that I despise.
Go on.
And it's this little squirrel. It's this little squirrel thing called Teto or Toto or something.
Toto, you're on the list.
And it's just so useless. It gets introduced and it's like her pet, and it follows her around and it's on her shoulder all the time. But he doesn't do anything. It's just there. I think it's like
every adventure thing always need one little sidekick pet.
And it's like I don't know if it's an anime thing as well. It's just always some cutesy little thing that follows. It's for merch, isn't it? It's just so they can sell toys of him after.
That is literally it, though.
Yeah,
it's just literally so they can sell little plushies.
Like in the original, in like the source material.
Yeah,
the thing does stuff and ends up dying of radiation poisoning. Spoiler alert! If you're going to read the manga from 40 years ago.
40-year-old man. Yeah, if you've not read it now.
But they don't do anything with it in the film, so it's just like...
So it's a waste. So
it's just annoying.
Right, they just added
I just hate that cutesy
squeaky
stuff.
little rat.
Squeaky little freak.
Bit of vermin. I dare it. So in Rocky, characters were great. The characters were really good in Rocky. The three... I'll take 4. I'll go through 4 characters.
Yep.
Main character, Rocky. Very good. He also shows that, like... I've not even said the first point yet. He shows that a lot of fighters don't need to be big, tough, mean guys.
Yeah.
Who's witty and not intelligent, but like sharp.
Yeah.
Because Rocky is the whole point is he's dumb. He's a dumb man. He's just very dumb.
Okay.
He plays a very good stupid character. And at the press conferences, he's not like, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh, he's just like, what? I
like fighting.
I like fighting. So he plays his part, but he does well. He doesn't, pretend he's not. And the whole film, it shows him just trying to be kind to everyone he knows. He cares a lot for his friends.
You've not got to be the mean guy. You can be a nice idiot.
Even
as
if
well.
you're a fighter, you don't have to be nasty and mean.
Yeah.
You can just be who you are. And Rocky's just naturally a nice person. He also just like he tries his best. I think that's the main thing. That
Just keep trying.
the determination of Rocky in this film really builds his character.
Is that one of like the main?
That's like his
theme
big
that
thing
goes
is that
through
he's so determined to win, which spoiler alert, he doesn't actually win.
Oh, I've not seen it.
No. Oh no, too bad. In
I'll get
Rocky,
over it.
he's so determined to win, and he tries his best. And I'm going to kind of be a bit of a spoiler right now. He
It's
does
fine.
he does later in films, right? But the whole point of him not winning is that even if you do all that, the main thing is what you've achieved. It's
Yeah.
not about the win.
You don't
it's not
have
about
to.
the loss.
Yeah.
It's about how far you've come. And Rocky came
The
from.
fact that you can run up those stairs now without getting winded.
He's not out of breath when he runs up the stairs.
Yeah.
He's completely fine.
Good
he
on
runs
you,
up
Rock.
with ease. Absolutely. It felt like nothing for this man.
And that's the real victory. The real victory
real
is the
victory.
steps we climbed along the way.
Literally. Do you know how out of breath I get from going upstairs?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I
And
know.
Rocky can do it and he can dance at the top after.
What a man.
God.
What a guy.
What a fella. Oh, wish I was Rocky.
So, yeah, that's the only character I know from Rocky is Rocky.
Right,
So,
so
that,
the next one I'm going to go through is his love interest, Adriana.
Mhm.
Adrian, that's it. Not Adriana. I've had a Diana. Adrian's like a quiet, shy pet shop worker.
okay.
So she works in a pet shop. She's the sister of one of Rocky's friends. And Rocky has a key interest in her for some reason. Rocky being the idiot, he doesn't understand, that she's, well, not interested, but that she's like shy.
Mm.
And he's not shy because he's too dumb to be shy. So he's just shouting about it. She's like, stop it.
Chill out, man.
Chill out. You're making me nervous.
It sounds like is she a bit of a cliche character as well?
Yeah,
Just,
and then she becomes slightly more out of her shell.
Mm.
Not a lot, literally the smallest amount.
there's not a lot of character development for her.
No, but she's integral to it because she makes Rocky like realise that he doesn't need to be mean and broody.
Mm.
That he can be.
Oh, does he
kind.
start out being a bit of a dick and then she...
A little bit, because he was a debt collector, so he's a bit.
Oh, okay,
bit of
a
mean
bit.
man. Yeah, he's a rough guy. He's a tough guy. That's his thing.
Yeah.
But he opens up to her, showing that Rocky is not just the tough guy. He's also,
So he goes from
he's
beating
more
people up for money
three-dimensional,
to beating one person up for money, but
yeah,
in a
it's
ring
less
instead.
It makes it less two-dimensional, more three-dimensional. Makes him a
Mm.
great character.
yeah.
So the whole point of her is basically just to build Rocky.
Okay.
But I do think she was a good character, and the acting. By the way, all these characters I'm talking about, the acting was good. The
yeah.
only bit that was as bad at all was the cinematography at the end. Apart from
Okay.
that, it's a perfect film.
Oh, okay.
The next character I want to talk about is Apollo Creed, who is the heavyweight champion at the time.
Yep.
He's like if I can compare him to a real person, it would be Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
It was very similar to his kind of like
like smooth talking.
a little bit, yeah. But it was
Lots
like
of
he was
bravado.
like known as the world's best.
Yeah.
He was like if you mixed Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't think Mike Tyson wasn't a fighter then. This was pre
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So if you mix them two, it would be very similar to what Apollo Creed is. He's not arrogant, but he knows he's the best because he is the best.
Okay.
But he's not too full of himself.
So because
he just understands that he is the best fighter there is.
So he's confident because he can back it up.
Yeah,
He's
he
not arrogant.
has the proof's in the pudding. He's the heavyweight champion. You don't
Yeah.
become the heavyweight champion of being the second best.
But is he still a bit of a dickhead?
No, I think.
Oh,
he's
is he
good.
not? Is he actually?
He's nice. He's nice
Oh.
to Rocky, and there's bits where he's not as nice, but I think it's conflicting ego.
So he's not necessarily the bad guy.
No,
He's just like the
he is
rival,
he's the
antagonist.
antagonist, yeah, but he's not
But he's not a villain.
a really bad guy.
Mm.
There's a lot. There's a few things he does. That's like, you could say he's greedy because he still had to fight with Rocky just because he didn't want to refund everyone.
Okay.
But at the same time, he did give Rocky the opportunity to become a fighter.
Mm.
Rocky was like Rocky was an underground fighter at that point.
Yeah.
He got paid like $10 per fight, and now he's getting paid millions per
Also,
fight.
Apollo gave him
a
the
platform.
chance.
He gave him the whole point of Apollo is he gave him the one chance,
Mm.
the one chance to become something great. And even though he didn't win, he still did become something great. Because he was so... He knocked down Apollo a few times, and he showed that like he is doing damage to Apollo.
Yeah.
But there was just one shot that Apollo got on Rocky that really hurt him. That gave Creed the favour. He's also... Creed's important later, and not in this film, but later in the franchise as well, especially with the spin-off, because the 2 Creed films that have come out...
Yeah. Are they about...
They're about his son.
Okay.
And I don't want to... I don't want to say too many spoilers in this.
Yeah, because that's a newer film, isn't it?
No, not the newer ones, even with the old ones. I don't want to just be ripping the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, let's
Band-Aid
stick with the...
Okay, so I've got one character... this is a PS, just a little bonus.
Little extra feature.
Rocky's trainer, I can't remember his name, I'll be honest with you. He's not a massive character, but he's like his coach. And he's like this mean old guy. Very, very mean old guy. And he just insults everyone the whole time.
He just stands there threatening people.
Yeah, he's great though. I absolutely love him. I think he's... just because of how he is in the films, he's so fun. He just makes the films funnier. He's like...
Oh, is he like comic relief?
Yeah, he's just insulting comic relief. Do you know what I mean? He didn't do like one-liners where he's like, knock knock, who's there? Not
Boxing.
Yeah, knock, who's there? The punch. Oi.
He just insults people.
No, he's just like,
and that's his...
you're useless. And he's one of them people where he'll even if it hurts your feelings, he'll tell you the honest truth.
Oh, just like a brutally honest.
Yeah, he's too brutal. You know, in the film, it upsets Rocky a bit, but then Rocky realises he is being just completely brutally honest.
Yeah.
So...
Still constructive, even if he's a knob about it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the characters.
Who's your favourite? Is he your favourite?
I quite like Rocky himself, to be fair. I wasn't a massive fan of Adrian. I know, like, the only reason I did it, I thought she was alright.
From what you said, she sounds like a bit of a like she could have been any.
Yeah, but this was back then where female characters weren't really... what do you call it, like... build upon. They don't really...
They're there just to be
just
attached
like
to the main character.
You know, it's like
the damsel in distress.
Damsel in distress, yeah. It's like just... The love interest is basically what I pinned her down to. But she's more important than most love interests because she does... show that like a tough fighter guy is emotional and able to feel something that isn't just punch.
I like that.
That's great. What's the next?
She made Rocky feel more than just a punch. Music. So we'll do the best and worst part of the music, and then how we rate the music as a standalone bit.
Best part.
Then Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Rocky's score was hands on the best part of Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
If Rocky didn't have its score, I would take it down 2 stars.
Okay.
The score was so good. It was unbelievably... just like... it was so great at certain points. The montages... I'm going to keep complimenting these montages. The best montages you ever see is in Rocky. The score they use is the... made by Bill Nayati, something like that. I can't remember his name, truly, but I did have it saved.
Yeah, that's like the iconic.
It's so memorable and iconic, and I feel like after I'd heard that, I was like, yeah,
I'm pumped.
I literally watched that. I went to the gym. It's like I was so pumped. I was like, yeah. It gives you the energy. It builds you up, and I feel like it makes you connect to Rocky as well.
And I think it's one of those soundtracks that now is like you don't even have to know. Like I've not seen it, but I know the Rocky music. Yeah.
Rocky Balboa.
I'll edit the sound on shot.
Don't worry. I don't know if it's copyrighted, so might have to mute
You're not going to get claimed for that.
I don't think. Maybe my singing was too good. Yeah. What other parts? There's parts where like the score was good. It's also with the just like the background audio they use.
Yeah.
Do you know, like just I don't know what you call it, like just small noises that help build the world of New York as well.
Oh, like is it Foley? Is that the right word? Yeah. Just like the sound effecty stuff.
Yeah, like they use that good emphasis on that as well.
Like the background din of New York.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't feel, because if there wasn't any of that, it'd just feel empty. If it was just walking around New York and it's silent, it'd be like...
I don't know if this counts as a score, but sorry, not I don't know why I'm speaking about it. You can't tell that I'm running out of ideas. The back. What was that?
That just
Yeah, right. We had technical issues.
technical difficulties.
I was saying the background noise in New York also builds the city of New York. They have a lot of subways there. You can hear the trains going around. A lot of beeping with the cars. Yeah, just all these little bits just help build up the whole world.
The ambiance.
Yeah, the ambiance.
If you were to be French with it.
Or speak proper British. Ambience.
Ambience,
mate. Bloody ambience. Right, let's go to what your film was. Let's go off that.
So, there's one bit which I thought was awesome, and one aspect which I thought was, like, awful. So, like, the main theme is, like, orchestral, iconic, super, really good theme, like, the music swelling, it's like an epic, you know. So that, and when the Omu appear, I can't remember, I don't know what name they have. There's like this kind of, I think the it's like a guitar, but like is it a sitar, like the Buddhist, the twanging one. And when they appear, they have this twang that goes on, and it's like ooh. So that's two very good bits, and then there's this specific scene where it's the lack of music, which I thought was really good.
Yeah,
it's there's another flying scene. Miyazaki loves his flying airships and stuff, and they get ambushed, and it's like the music's going and they're having the conversation as normal, and then this fighter jet comes out of the clouds and starts laying into them, and just as it comes out, all the music cuts, and there's like the only sound effects is the machine guns on this fighter.
Machine guns.
This
is so weird.
Yeah,
it sounds like Breath of the Wild.
It's like World War II technology with like steampunk ships, and so there's like guns, but not. And then there's nukes as well, which are just like big. It's anime. It's Japan in the 80s. You know, it's all sorts.
It's all wild.
Yeah, they do what they want.
Rightfully so.
But then the bad music bit is. The first one is like in the action scenes, in like all the fight scenes, it's just the most 80s kind of music I think you'll hear. It's super
disco.
Synthy, just really out of place, like 80s action synthy, lots of keyboard.
I'm really not a fan of that.
Just really as I was watching it and this music came on, it just completely took me. I was like no longer invested in the fight scene. I was just like, this music is awful. Yeah, just really like dated, like you can tell it's from the 80s. And then there was another bit, I think it was a flashback scene near the end, but the music, the vocals on this music was just like kids cheering.
Yeah,
just really weird, like a really odd choice to have the vocals for this track just being
gorillas.
Yeah, not even that, just like, I don't know if it was meant to be like a choir or something, but yeah, there's some really, really weird, like, dated music choices. But when the music's good, it's really good. And it's by the guy who did the music. I can't remember his name. Joe Hisaishi or something like that. But he's done all the music for all of Miyazaki's stuff. A lot of Ghibli stuff. So he has this same guy doing it. And he's done some awesome music.
Hisaishi?
Something like that. I can't remember that.
I've actually heard
I probably pronounced it wrong anyway. All the sound design's good.
Yeah, so like the ambience and everything's all.
Yeah, well,
and with that kind of film, I assume the ambience would be quite important.
Yeah, and I think it goes quite well with the animation and like because the world is a weird setting. The whole 1,000 years after the end of the world is like deserts, but also this forest that you can't go in because the spores will snuff you up. But there's a scene at the start where she goes into the forest because she's got like a rebreather mask thing.
Yeah.
And she climbs up an old like a corpse, the shell of it. Yeah. And it's just her using a sword to like pry off one of the eye domes. It's like a big glass dome thing where the eye would have been.
Yeah.
And the sound there is pretty cool because it's like it sounds muffled because they're surrounded by this like it's like all that ash has fallen down to look like snow. So the sound is muffled as she's doing it, and like the speaking's muffled and stuff, which is quite cool.
Peculiar, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's It's a weird film.
It's a lot of emphasis on small detail, which always shows like they put a lot of care and like detail into it.
Yeah, that's the thing that Miyazaki's quite renowned for, is being like a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So apparently he was in the animation room, making sure everyone follows all these points he has, and like does all the rules he's set up, almost to like an oppressive, annoying way. But yeah, it's worth it because he makes good films. so it works.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Right, so I think that's it for the score now.
Overall ratings.
An overall rating and a final score.
Yeah, I did 8 out of 10 for Nausicaä because it's set up Ghibli. It's like proto Ghibli, and just like it's not as well covered as a lot of the other Ghibli films. I think it's underrated in that sense, but it has a great story. The themes of it are pretty strong and still relevant. 8 out of 10. Good stuff. Watch it.
I also gave Rocky an 8 out of 10. I thought the characters were good, the scene was good, the score was amazing. Just the cinematography that took it down a little bit for me. And obviously, it's an older film, so it's not going to be as polished as newer films.
Yeah.
But I still thought at its time it was still executed well, so I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's it for the Blockbuster Breakdown. Our next segment is the best segment we have. It's Groovy in the Movie! Way!
I'm not excited for this.
Right, so for today's episode of Groovy in the Movie, I met up with a long friend of mine.
A long friend.
A long-time friend of mine. I'll just play the audio, so
okay.
We'll see how it goes. Good morning, family. Good morning, dog. And good morning, good friend and notable actor Robert Deniro, who plays notable characters such as Jake LaMotta in The Raging Bull.
You talking to me?
Of course I'm talking to you. What other Robert De Niro do I know? Now, before we go, Big Rob, we have to wait for Rob. No, Alex, it's ridiculous. He's taken ages to get here. Not only did he have the cheek to insult the Sanctity, which is the best segment in podcast history, the Groovy in the Movie, but he also arrived late to the cinema, so we can't go watch Creed 2.
He's weak, he's incompetent, he jeopardizes the whole place. There's not much more I can do for him.
Too right. He just sent me a message. He's in a real Shane Dawson on here, and he's cancelled on us. Wow. Well, I guess it's just me and you then, Robbie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, it's packed in here like a can of sardines.
Who was that?
Oh, it's two people sat in our seats. What? Oh, okay, whatever. Oh, wait, it's Alex. Why is Alex there? Who's he sat with? Oh, no. Oh, it's my arch enemy who just happens to owe me 10 big ones. Well, I'm going to show him 10 big ones.
What's that?
Who was that?
Go on then, don't leave the old man waiting. Peel off that Scooby-Doo mask and show him who you really are.
Ronnie Pickering!
That
Where will we be? You put the good in Goodfella. Well, now that we're all here, we can finally watch the film. Wow, how fun, insightful, and full of adventure this episode was. So, Robert, what did you think of today's Groovy in the Movie?
You talking to me?
No, but all serious, Robbie. Did you actually enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Bye.
You've got like, okay, let me just analyse that slightly.
Okay.
You've got about 4 different sound clips of Robert De Niro, maybe 5.
Cyclops.
Sorry, he just repeated himself 4 or 5 times.
Alex, you remember this, don't you? We went to go watch Creed 2. It was good, wasn't it? So yeah,
that went so off the rails
that's this
so
week's
quick.
Groovy in the Movie, yeah. And, unfortunately, my audio recording of the soundtrack. Why is that? What is going on? Okay, I'm just going to pretend
We're going to cut it there.
We're going to pretend it didn't play drums. Now on our next segment, it's question time.
Question time.
Question time. Question time. Oh, it's question time. We don't have jingles yet. I've not made jingles yet, so it's question time.
We'll work around that.
So right, what's
The dancing was great. That really helped.
we've got 3 questions,
Yep.
and we're gonna run through them and see if the people agree.
And the first question is what is the worst film you've watched this year? It doesn't have to be from this year.
Doesn't have to be from this
Just
year.
what you've watched this year.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I've got mine locked and loaded if you want me to go first.
Yeah, you go first. I mean, brew this up.
It's a Polish/German production that I watched on Netflix last night called Old People. And if you think the title sounds bad and a little bit like unoriginal,
Just a bit goofy.
because it is. It's the premise is old people are zombies, like zombie virus, but it's just old people. So just old people killing people, yeah. And there's no spoiler alert. There's no explanation for it. It's just old people are killing everyone.
Oh,
now.
old people are now zombies.
So, and yeah, well, not even zombies. Some of them act like zombies and screech and like do weird shit. Some of them just hang around looking menacing. Some of them just like stand in a field in
So
a
it's
row.
like Gangster Granny.
I have no idea.
Like next level Gangster Granny. It's Gangster Granny.
But then there's one that's like super smart leader old person. I think there's meant to be like a whole like running theme of don't mistreat the elderly and don't put them in care homes and forget about
if you
them.
put them in a care home, they'll become zombies.
But yeah,
They'll
the
attack
message
you.
is if you mistreat old people, they will murder you. And the ending, that this is going to sound bad, and I think it was worse watching it. There's like at the climax, as the two main characters are escaping, there's a scene where they escape and like tame one of the old people by singing a song. They literally beat the bad guys by
Like it's
breaking into
goofiest.
song. Yeah, it's just really bad.
So-
and it's like it could have been good,
stupid.
but it took itself so seriously.
Oh, was it like not?
It wasn't a comedy.
Really?
From all of that I've just said, you'd assume
It's not like
it's a piss take.
like Eric. What's his name? Eric Andre. Like production.
Yeah, you think it'd be like a skit, but no, it took itself 100% seriously. It had like old
It's like
quotes
a-
from old literature about how the elderly are the soul of the community. You know,
What's the turning age of when they become?
well, no, it
older?
doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't explain anything. So, like the main character's granddad, he didn't go mental. He was just hanging out.
Yeah.
He was like with all the old people, but like undercover, chill. But no explanation for
Undercover.
why he didn't like mass murder. If you like gore and then you like some of it. Just watch the scenes on YouTube
The gore.
because there's some like violent scenes and
Ooh.
fighting stuff, but like it's not worth watching for an hour and a half, 2 hours,
Yeah,
however
an
long
hour
it was.
and a half of old man
Yeah,
going.
it's like I thought
It's not
it
even
was,
English. It's like,
it was okay up until the last like the last half. Yeah, just really, yeah. I don't rate it. 1.9 stars
1.9. What out of 10?
out of 5. Yeah,
It's still pretty generous.
yeah, because it was a film and it was
So nearly
it was
a 4 out of
competently
10.
made, and there was some like
With the
whoa.
gore, make it up. For
Yeah, a bit of a gorehound. So some of it was like, okay, that's
you. Yeah.
all right, but it
Yeah,
just
fair play.
not.
Was it like fun to watch?
No, because it took itself so seriously. It was like trying to make a statement.
When a bad film is a drama,
yeah,
but like there's
Is-
no good comedy in it. It's like
yeah, there wasn't even any like you couldn't argue that it was like subtly
yeah,
satirical or something. It was just
just
it 100% thought it was
sounds
serious. Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
I'm not going to watch that.
No, good. Yeah, don't watch it.
Thank you for your unrecommendation.
You're very welcome.
Right, I think I've thought of my one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if this is from 2022, but it was
Doesn't have to be. Just that you've watched it.
It's a film called Moonfall.
I've heard about this.
It's been
Yeah.
hated on a lot, and I watched a pirated bit of it.
Sorry,
and-
he watched a completely licensed.
Completely legitimate version of
Yeah.
it on Pirate Bay, and it's the most unstructured thing I've ever seen in my life. There was no need for half of it, and the whole idea was just stupid.
It's that the moon is literally that the moon is falling.
The
Is
moon's
that
falling.
I've just guessed that. I don't know how I guessed that. Somehow.
And it's like a station. It's like a space station, the moon.
Okay.
And it's just really
Wait, it's based on the moon as the moon is falling, or
yeah. So the moon's falling, and they need to push it back.
and the people up on the moon are like, fucking rein it in.
Come on, then you bastard.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's got the guy who played Sam Tarley. Is that right?
I can't remember. I don't know any of the
I
actors.
don't know.
I
think
didn't
it
watch
does.
all of it. I'll be honest with you. I skimmed
So
through
was it like so bad that it's almost good, or was it just?
I didn't watch all of it. It was that bad.
Oh, okay. How far through did you get?
think I watched I watched 20 minutes and then I skimmed through it just to get an idea. And there's a bit that a lot of people have talked about, but it's just so stupid. They spend a while getting panicked about a ship. Their ship don't have enough, thrusters to get up. What are we going to do? And then it just turns out at the end they just flip a switch or they change something and it just works fine. So the whole dramatic scene they did for a while was completely in and void. It
so
just meant nothing.
They set up this tension for however
long. All this
long.
tension for a while. And
it was just actually no,
nothing.
we can just had they mentioned this is something, is it a Deus Ex Machina or something like that? Or whatever. Did they mention this switch before at all?
No.
Was there no
nope.
we need to get to the switch to activate? It was just
I forgot. Actually, we can change this.
And that fixed the whole
and it fixed
thing.
Everything.
Yeah. What's that called? I'll Google it and edit that on.
Just on top with some layer.
I think it's a Deus Ex something where there's just like something that's not been referenced before just comes in and saves it at the last minute. Just out of the blue, kind of.
I didn't see that. Yeah, that kind of ruined not the flow, but the whole structure and everything.
I suppose if they built up all this tension
and it just
then
nothing.
Actually the moon isn't haunted.
Yeah, the pacing was terrible as well.
How long was it? Oh, you only watched.
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite a long film. Let me check. It's quite a long film. I'll check on my phone. But like the whole thing, I didn't see a point to the film. The film just didn't need to be it. There was no point for
not
it.
Not even
2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours 10.
So yeah,
that's pretty long for
a film. And you've wondered why I skipped through it. That's like
2 hours 10 for just a bad. Was it a lot of like boring scientists, people talking to each other? Yeah.
We gotta save the moon.
The polarity on the moon has gone reversed, so we need to.
It's falling out of the sky.
And I'm assuming there was like no scientific. Obviously, you're not expecting a lot of scientific accuracy, but you'd think they'd be like, all the waves are moving and.
What's water made out of? H2O.
To answer your question, as Patrick Wilson from The Conjuring.
Wow, Patrick.
Oh,
Wilson.
is it not a guy from Game of Thrones?
Thank you, Patrick, for that pile of dog shit.
Is that the main guy out
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think the worst part as well is at the end they did like a reference, and they were trying to set up a whole Moonfall universe.
Oh God, the Moonfall cinematic universe.
Yeah, literally.
Next up, Sunfall.
So
oh yeah.
Guy's a goofy-looking man.
What's it? Sunfall.
Yeah, we'll pull up the picture. It looks very, very silly.
The attack of Pluto. Mars attacks. Oh no, that's already.
It's like the Monsterverse. It's like a really bad version of the Monsterverse, even though the Monsterverse is already pretty bad.
The Moonfall cinematic universe.
Oh, it's Venus! It's falling out of the sky. Also,
Saturn's rings have come off, and they're coming right towards us.
Pluto's turned into two. Pluto.
Oh no. Yeah, no, never mind. So I'm not going to watch that. That's your unrecommendation.
Yeah, I've unrecommended it.
Cool.
Right, next is just one I thought of.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I saw an epic battles of history.
Okay.
So I kind of stole it. Who's the best John in film?
The best John. Right, I've got a few that immediately spring to mind. John Constantine.
John Wick.
Both the same actor as well. Does that count?
John Wick, John McClane, and John Rambo.
John Rambo. But yeah, John Wick and John Constantine, same actor, so they're technically the same character. That's how that works, right?
No.
yeah, of course.
Please. What other Johns have we got?
I think Rambo is one of the cooler ones.
Are there any like Marvel characters who are just super over? Was it like John Vision or something?
Johnny Sins. He's in film.
He's
in film.
He's a showbiz character, I suppose.
He's an astronaut. He's a pizza delivery man. Plumber.
So many different characters. So versatile.
Yeah, he's so great.
So flexible.
I can't believe he can know all that. Very rich man from that though. So.
What other Johns we got?
Johnny English.
Yeah. End of segment. Johnny English.
Johnny English.
Settled.
Who's the best, or who would win in a fight? Let's do who would win in a fight.
Who would win in a fight?
Johnny English.
He'd bumble his way through. Like John Wick would trip up and accidentally shoot himself. Yeah. John Constantine would just get sent to hell.
His gun goes through all three people's heads.
Yeah, he'd accidentally win.
No, well, seriously, who would win out of John Wick, John McClane, and Rambo?
Like, who's got the best like feet? Because John Wick obviously has 4 movies of him just kicking the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, but it's
Rambo also does, but he's a bit less subtle about it.
It's different. They're all really different ways of like
Being unbeatable
killing, yeah.
action hero men.
Rambo's like the hidden man. He hides and he kills secretly.
And then he jumps on a 50 cal
Yeah.
and blows the whole forest up. Yeah,
And you got
I don't know.
John Wick's like in the middle area.
I feel like
Well, no, they're all like hiding. Apart from John Wick, like a little bit.
is him sneaking around.
Yeah, but like John McClane.
Who was the third? John McClane.
John McClane is Jim.
Oh, yeah, unless he's in a tower and he's escaping a tower on Christmas. I don't think he's out of his element, isn't he?
Yeah.
Old Johnny.
So let's say they're in like the woods.
If they're in the woods, I'm giving it to Rambo just because
It's his ends.
it's his end. Isn't it?
Would John Wick not hold a light to him? I think McClane would just go, like, get an arrow in the eye and just die immediately.
Yeah, yeah. John McClane would just wander in.
John Wick would probably just look at him and go...
John McClane's old now, isn't he?
Who is?
John McClane.
They're already
I've
old
only
now.
seen the first couple of Die Hards,
Yeah.
so all I know is that he can fight his way up a tower.
They're all really old now, so... Maybe it's like old men.
It's
Maybe-
between Wick and Rambo.
Maybe
innit?
they become like friends and they're old men.
Yeah, they just
They
become
become
drinking
German.
buddies. Yeah, become German old
Or
people
Polish
who just
old
go on a
people.
murdering spree.
God, if Rambo, John Wick, and John McClane went on a murdering spree, along with Johnny English.
We need Johnny English. Johnny English would swoop in and save the day.
But he's quite old now, isn't he? Mr. Bean's getting
Mr.
pretty
Bean.
old. So we're screwed. There's no one to save us.
We're screwed. If the Johns attack, we're done for.
If there's if the Johns take
If
over.
it's an attack of the Johns. If the moon falls and Johns come out crawling out of it.
What about a toilet?
Sorry?
What about the toilet?
What about the toilet?
Yeah, with a toilet or anything. Is there a toilet character in
What are you talking about?
John?
Oh, okay.
So that was
I
really
just-
badly
yeah,
transitioned.
Really? What about the
What about,
toilet?
like, if a toilet could like, do you know Captain Underpants? Isn't there like a supervillain toilet? Maybe that's the one real
Is it
John.
called? I think we've gone so far.
My
off
vote for the best John is the toilet in Captain Underpants
Okay.
that goes evil.
What about John Carter?
John Carter. Oh, is that the guy on Mars? His films are just awful.
Who?
So he doesn't stand. John Carter. Isn't that what the movies were called? John Carter. Yeah. There's a Disney. I think it's Disney.
Like G.I.
an
John.
adventure thing. G.I. John.
John
Right.
Kimball from Kindergarten Cop.
Drake
What
and
was
John.
that? Vin Diesel. Is that the main guy?
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, is it Schwarzenegger?
Drake and John.
Drake and John. You can't just make people Johns.
You're John. I'm John. We're all John.
Than John.
The John universe. the JC.
The John Cinematic Universe. The Standover Planet 4
Avengers,
universe.
the Avengers film would be awesome. Rambo, John Wick, and John McClane all in one big Avengers film.
John Lennon.
John,
John
yeah.
Lennon.
Yeah, he just... Okay. No, done.
Ooh, Johnny Blaze, that's a shout.
Johnny
I don't know why-
Blaze.
yeah, Ghost Rider.
Oh.
He's pretty powerful.
Yeah, he's got
Ghost
like
Rider's
magic
pretty-
shit as well, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
Ghost Rider's
Superpowers.
pretty beast. I can't think of any like other superhero Johns. It's not. I don't think there really is any.
No,
Right.
I'm trying to think of...
It's quite
No,
an
that's
old name
video
as
game
well.
stuff.
Like, you don't have kids called John. Well, actually, no, never mind.
Yes, you
No, I do.
do. Yeah.
I know 2 Johns. I don't know why I said that.
There's John Smith from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt.
Yeah. If you're going to go for the most pretty John, then maybe that would that would work.
Johnny English. Oh, I would.
What about Little John from...
Yeah.
no, not Lil John.
Little John.
Little... Is it Little,
Okay.
Is it Little John from
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood? Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
he wouldn't... He'd be...
he would be
he'd-
screwed. They've
he'd
got guns.
Yeah, he'd be shot to fuck.
Ghost
before
Rider has
anything
like
could happen.
Firehead.
Firehead. Is that
Oh,
on
you
his?
think-
Is that on his stats? He's 6'2". Ghost Rider abilities.
So,
Firehead.
the Robin Hood character. Are we going for the person or are we going to go for the animal
animated,
one?
the animal one, because obviously.
Okay,
big
so what is he, a bear?
I,
I think he's a bear. I just realised I played Little John in a play
John
once,
Wick-
so I'll speak for it.
Could John Wick fight a bear? Could he beat
John
up a bear
Wick could
barehanded?
Screw up a bear.
Do you reckon? Without guns, though.
Oh, without guns? You got a knife?
Do you reckon he could?
Got a pencil.
Yeah, he has a pencil.
He'd
That's
literally
all he's
get
got is a
twig,
pencil.
He'd get a stick and he'd kill
Or a
him.
book.
Yeah, he gets
Kill
to
him with
choose.
this knowledge.
He gets to.
I killed my GCSEs.
He gets a book or a pencil. Or no, you can have both because it's a bear.
You can write a book.
I don't think we're getting an answer
A
to
book
this
and
one.
a
Are we?
pencil. Is he an author now?
Okay.
Right, we'll do
Next
the
bit.
final
Have you got
question.
a
We've
third
got
one?
one final question. Would you rather fight Mike Tyson from the Hangover films? That's what he's,
That's what he's
famous
what
from.
he's most well known
He's
for.
famous
Yeah.
from the Hangover films.
Yeah.
Or would you rather fight 50 children, but they all have little baseball bats?
Would you
Do
rather
sorry, what
fight?
they call rounders bats, you know, the little bats.
Would you rather fight Mike Tyson, well-known pigeon racer, or 50 children?
50 angry children. Let's say you ripped.
I think
Let's say you went to each one of them and ripped one of their hollow Pokemon cards,
no.
and
I
you were
think-
like, "I also ate your sweets at home."
but Mike Tyson's chill now, isn't he?
Well,
Well, no, he'd still.
let's go prime Tyson.
Maybe I'll be able to talk. Okay, Prime Tyson. It's going to be a quick death. So I'm
right,
choosing.
just say to Prime Tyson, you're in a boxing match. It's official.
Okay,
It's
no,
all set up. This
yeah.
isn't Street Fighter.
no,
right?
it's still a quick death. I'm still
With a boxing glove, you get
my
punched.
huge head is collapsing as soon as he punches me once.
I don't know.
And then 50 kids with bats. I feel like they'd be more vicious. They'd make it last longer. They just weakly hit you for 2 or 3 hours until you pass out from exhaustion. Whereas, yeah, with Big Mike,
How many
it's
of them
just,
do you think you could kill before they kill you?
what sort of age kids are we talking?
Let's say 5-year-olds. How many 5-year-olds can you kill?
And I'm unarmed.
It's Julius
Yeah.
when he met Dan TDM.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm.
How many times have we referenced that today?
Can
That's
you
like the first
send me
reference to it.
send me that picture?
I'll
so
send
I
you a
can put it
picture.
up?
I'll send you the appropriate
If it was
picture.
50 of you at that age, I think I'm.
Mate, that's not fair.
My
I
tactic-
I
no,
was
it's like-
6 foot.
Yeah, we need 5-year-olds, not.
I was 6 foot in year 5.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Do you reckon you could pick up a 5-year-old and whip it around a bit?
I reckon you. Do you know?
No,
do
you
you know the
probably
blades and
couldn't.
sorcery? You can just pick people up and throw them about.
Yeah.
I reckon you could do that with them. Just poke them in the neck. I think that's it for question time.
Yeah.
Question
I
time.
hope
Question
so.
time. Oh, it's question time.
Question time.
So we actually forgot to do an outro, so I'll do a real quick one now. Thank you for listening. This has been the Pick and Mix podcast. I've been your host, Julius. I was joined by Jake, my co-host, and cameraman Alex. We'll be uploading every other week, starting the 9th of November. If you have any questions you want to ask us at all, put it in the comments. We could use them questions as icebreakers or question time. So if you have anything at all you want to put it in the comments. And yeah, thank you for listening.